21, another night of violence, tear gas used to disperse the crowd last night. ABC News' Jim Ryan is live in Ferguson. Good morning, Jim Ryan. Welcome to St. Louis.
Thank you, McGraw.
What are your thoughts as you sit and watch this?
Pretty tense last night. A crowd of several hundred people here on Florissant Avenue. It's quiet here this morning and traffic is flowing. All the streets have been reopened. But I think the evidence of what's happened over the last two nights is clear. Boarded up businesses and kind of a tense feeling, some trash on the sidewalks as a result of what happened here. But we're told that fewer than half a dozen people were taken into custody last night, different from the night before when, 3 dozen people were arrested.
It's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The media, the cameras, you, me, we're all there to report on what's going on, so people go down to see what's going on, and we're reporting on what people are coming down to see, and they're coming down to see what it is we are reporting.
Kind of feeds on itself in a way, but it's certainly a story that is worthy of telling, and so I don't think that you could turn away and say, I'm not going to cover it.
Yeah, no. Do we have any idea where these protesters are coming from? Are they from Ferguson? Are they from the city? Are they from outside the region?
I think a mixture of all of those. Some of the people I talked with in the crowd last night had come from elsewhere. One guy said he had come from Kansas City to take part in this. And some, you're right, I think some were expressing anger at what happened on Saturday, specifically with the Michael Brown case. Others, I think, were here just, as you said, to see what was going on, to join in this large crowd that had gathered.
Did you feel at all while you were there last night when police were using tear gas? Did you feel at all in danger?
Well, I mean, not in danger, but the grenades, once they start firing those things off and the area is filled with smoke, and it's an uncomfortable feeling at best. But you just try to keep self-awareness of where you are and what's happening around you.
Now, you had a chance to cover the Benjamin Crump news conference.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well, Crump was there. The head of the NAACP nationally was there. The parents of Michael Brown were there. I think the recurring theme was a call for calm. It was answered a couple of hours later with this large protest out here. I don't know if people heard that, but you do know that there was a peaceful vigil that was happening at the same time. People gathered at that same church to peacefully act out, to carry this vigil out in Michael Brown's memory. His parents said specifically and clearly yesterday that that's what Michael Brown would have wanted.
There are different groups of protesters, but I know yesterday some of the protesters, they were demanding a couple of things. First, they wanted to know the name of the police officer involved in the shooting, which is supposed to be released today, and they also wanted him charged with murder, and they also wanted the knowledge of the Ferguson Police City book or handbook. What are your thoughts on them releasing the police officer's name today?
Well, that is supposed to happen at some point today, and that may lead to something else this evening out here. We don't even know the race of that police officer, much less that person's name. But that release is supposed to come at some point today. But we're talking about several investigations going on. The St. Louis County Sheriff's Department with its probe. Also, the Justice Department came in yesterday and was very specific and clear to say that that the justice investigation would not supplant the local probe, but would supplement it. So there are at least 2 investigations going on. And Benjamin Crump also asking for anybody who was in the neighborhood that those people come forward with any evidence that they might have, including cell phone video.
What do we know about Al Sharpton? Is he coming to town to pour more gasoline on the fire?
Haven't heard that. I have not heard anything about that.
Yeah. It seems, Jim Ryan, that there's the African-American community, the leaders, the people who want the answers have stood up, and every single one of them has said, this is inappropriate, this is nonviolent, we need peace, we need justice, and yet there seems to be people who want to sort of turn it violence. It's sort of an interesting look at that people are trying to sort of take this and sort of turn it into something that it isn't.
Well, yeah, you're right. There are several communities at work here, and I think that there's a lot of anger, as you've seen here. You know as well as I do since this weekend that there is a lot of anger, and people are channeling it in different ways, either coming out here into the street or taking part in peaceful vigils. I think everybody wants to see exactly what the investigation is going to yield. The head of the NAACP says it's not going to be a quick process, that he doesn't want it to be a quick process. They want this to be a thorough probe of precisely what happened on Saturday.
So many times, Jim, we talk to you, you're around the country, and you give us a perspective. I'm going to ask you to do the opposite. Since we're here in St. Louis, what do you think people are thinking, and what are people hearing outside of St. Louis about this situation, and what are they thinking about St. Louis right now?
Well, I mean, as I stand here on Florissant Avenue, I have no concern, no fear about my safety. But last night was a completely different situation. You won't see pictures of Florissant Avenue with cars flowing back and forth and people going about their business. You'll see pictures nationally in Los Angeles and New York and Dallas of the tear gas grenades being thrown last night. I think that may be the perception that people walk away with as they consider what happened on Saturday and in the 2 nights subsequent.
Yeah. Jim Ryan, live in Ferguson. Make sure you have a safe trip here in St. Louis, and if you have a chance, you need to head over to Ted Drew's and have a little frozen custard.
I will. Thank you.
You got it. Jim Ryan, ABC News, live in Ferguson, covering it nationally for ABC, and he's our guy, and he's fantastic, and he's in St. Louis. 627 here, Big 550.